All these new Pixar movies just rip your heart out for no reason.
No reason. And why does it feel so good? It's like, why is this the only way I can connect with myself? This is so messed up.
I'm just addicted to Disney movies and tears. And welcome back to the Your Last Resort podcast with your host, Brandon Lejean. This week it's episode 117, and I'm joined by my very special guest, Catie Housman. Thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course. I think I said thank you for joining it like 6 times before we started, so I realized it might feel slightly disingenuous to you when I say that, but we can pretend for them that we haven't already said it 15 times.
Absolutely. And I could always hear it more. I love compliments. I love kind people.
I feel like I don't know about you, I love compliments, but I'm also so bad at taking compliments.
Are you?
It's the most okay, guys, for you listening, Erica's not in here producing. She had finals today, so wish her luck. She'll be back on future episodes, but my girlfriend would 100% agree. I mean, I am someone who she'll be like, I love you, and I'll be like, why do you fucking hate me? Like, stop. I can't even take like that. She'll be like, you look beautiful today, and I'll be like, fucking stop saying nice things to me. I don't know why. When people tell me they like my comedy, I don't know how to respond. I get awkward. I just am like, yeah, thanks, thank you, and I don't know how to ever like be a normal person about it. But you're all right with compliments, or?
Yeah, and I'm fascinated by that because whenever I see someone like you, which is like all the time, there's so many people who are uncomfortable with compliments.
Yeah,
I'm just like, what's the thought process going on there that stops you from wanting that love? Or being able to take it and accept it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, because it's like, if you want to, I love to psychoanalyze people,
Me too.
I got a sociology degree. That was like
you did?
That was like half of what I went to school for.
Oh my God.
Was just like studying people and shit. So, I'm so sorry. Is my mic like in the right position?
Yeah,
I see
you're
you
good.
Doing
Like the under thing.
Oh, I do this because I just fidget with the mic. But as long as you're
fidgety.
talking into the AKG, like the front of it, it'll sound good. It's unidirectional. The only problem we ever have is like sometimes my guests will turn their mic around, but if you turn it around, I can see the logo and I can like tell you to flip it back around.
So this thing facing me is good.
Yeah, so you're totally fine with that.
Okay.
But I look back at my parents, and it's not like they weren't loving. Dude, my parents from birth were very complimented, very like, you're good, doing a good job, and I don't know what it is, because I don't even think it's that I'm super insecure about myself. I'm not like the most confident person, but I love myself. I don't hate myself. So
right.
I don't know why. It's so weird though, right? To not be able to accept someone being nice to you.
Right. So like if your girlfriend says to you like, you look so good today, what is the feeling you get inside?
The same feeling as like when a joke doesn't hit, where you're uncomfortable and you get like hot and like I get nervous because I don't know how to respond to that. Like, because I think I get in that mindset where I'm like, do I say you look great back too? But like, now is it disingenuous? What do I say? Do I just say thank you? Because the problem too is like people will be like, hey, that's a great set. And I'm like, oh, thanks, Catie. And then I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, I love that story you posted on Tuesday. Like, I don't know if I'm also supposed to just like regurgitate nice things to you.
I see. Like maybe there's something more to it than just a compliment.
Maybe the only other thing I could think it has to do with is playing football for so long. Your coaches just ridicule you all the time. All the time. I mean, it is. I don't know if you've ever watched any,
Last Chance U?
Oh, that is so accurate. Like, people always ask me, do the coaches really belittle you and tell you aren't shit all the time? It's their job, basically.
Oh, my God.
You, in college and even high school and junior college, you watch film every day and you watch your practice. So your practice, it would be like if every day, like, a better comic than you sat you down, listened to your set, and would pause it and be like, why did you fucking stumble your words right there? You know you're not supposed to do that. And you'd be like, yes, sir, you're right, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Like, okay, further. Right here, you flubbed the punchline. Why did you do that? Like, I don't know, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'll be better, sir. Like, it's like that in football. And then occasionally they're like, nice play right there. And you're like, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And it's really quick and really done. So maybe there's that kind of correlation where I'm not used to people being nice to me, I'm more like fucking shit on me, you know?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But I don't like that either.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you like being shit on?
No, I'm not pro having people just belittle me either. That also makes me. Maybe I'm just not happy. Maybe. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. But honestly, I don't know that. Maybe football coaches are damaging our young men and giving them weird inabilities to take compliments.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It's kind of endearing because it's like, I feel sometimes embarrassed when I can take a compliment too easily.
Yes,
and then I'm like, oh, am I a fucking like diva over here? Like, yeah, compliment me. But I just try to be open about it. Like, yeah, I really do enjoy being praised.
Yeah, it's that. No, but that's good. But I think if you look back at either of our spots, we're both just kind of insecure about the situation. I think it's just a quote. Like, it's not a quote. Someone said it, so I suppose. What the fuck makes a quote? Does it like, do you have to be famous, or if I say gibbity gobble boo, is that now like my quote for the rest of eternity?
I
think you quote me.
I think if you're being quoted, you have a quote.
Okay, all right, word. So
Yeah.
this quote I'll never forget from a teammate of mine. I remember we were standing there on the sidelines, and they have like in football they have practice squad, which is you're on the team. And normally it's younger guys who aren't ready to play yet, so they run all the practice reps against the starting offense, or they run against the starting defense, and they're kind of just dummies. They're lowest of the totem pole and the whole thing. A lot, some people don't respect them. Coaches are really mean to them. Like it sucks when you're a practice squad guy. And I'll remember this guy made a tackle, and like it was defense against the starting offense. So it's weird because it's like, if you're on the defense and you fuck up the offensive play, they kind of get mad at you because they're like, we're trying to run shit here. But if you don't go hard enough, this guy made a big tackle, and instead of telling him good job, they're like screaming at the offense. And this one guy on the sideline was like, hey, bro, nice play. And he was like, oh, thanks, man. And I was like, that was nice. Why'd you do that? And he was like, dude, everyone needs to hear good job once in a while. Like, everyone needs to hear that. And I'll never stop thinking about that because it works in comedy too. I mean, you can make another fellow comedian's day by just, if they have a good set, acknowledging it. I'm not saying to lie to someone. Don't fucking lie to people.
Yeah.
But like, if I see you having a good set, like, why do I keep that to myself? Why don't I go like, hey, I really like that new joke you told. That was a funny set, because you'll think of that in a positive way. You'll keep pushing. And it just brings it's good for like humanity as a whole to be nice to each other.
Totally.
And so I always think about that, and it's a good message where I feel like, dude, if you work at IT and computers, tell the fuck up guy, like tell the bottom of the totem pole guy good job every once in a while, and you'll change people's days. It's my Tony Robbins moment for everyone.
This is beautiful. Like, I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's go do some inspirational shit after this.
Fuck yeah. I totally get that. I think it is so nice to literally see the way someone changes when you say something nice to them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will say, when I say like good set, especially, like, you don't just have to say that or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not though. Like, you really. It's
just being insecure because you almost don't believe it. Now, I do agree. Yeah. If I bomb and you come up, there's a difference. There's a difference. I do get that. If I'm bombing, please don't tell me I had a good set. We don't have to gaslight each other. Like, you don't have to lie to me. No one was laughing. No one thought that was funny.
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend that it's somehow funny now.
Right.
So,
I like to like at least find like your guru friend on the football team. Shout out him. We should find him now.
Yeah, his name's Xavier Chisholm. So shout out him. I think he lives in Bakersfield, which really sucks.
That's the coolest name ever.
It's great
and
name.
Worst
great
city
guy.
ever.
Worst. It's the butthole of America. It's
terrible.
Disgusting. He knows that though. People from there are like, it sucks. Like, I just, I crawled out my mom's vagina and here I am. Like, I didn't ask to be born in the one of the worst places.
People would rather be like in Saudi Arabia than in Bakersfield. Probably.
Yeah. I would rather be. Unless you're a woman, maybe you don't want to be in Saudi.
Maybe not.
I'd rather be in Saudi Arabia.
I
don't know how you would do. Here's the thing though. I don't do great with the sun. Saudi Arabia wouldn't be the best place for me either.
But don't you get to wear like a whole wrap, or do the guys not do that?
I'm not going to pretend like I know. I'm going to look it up because it would just be a guess. But I feel like in most of these countries, they don't like they don't. It's more of like an oppressive thing for the women than just like. All right, in Saudi
you never see pictures of dudes all dressed up.
Yeah, it says in Saudi Arabia, males wear a full-length, loose-fitting garment with long sleeves known as a thobe. Local Saudi men avoid wearing black thobes since black is the color of women. That's so weird. Weird. Yeah, I'm looking. Oh, okay, yeah. So if you're watching, this will be between us. There's all like the white dudes and like you've seen
that looks
seen
familiar.
This. You know what I
mean?
I've seen this before. I don't know.
So you might do okay.
Yeah, I think I could do all right. I don't know. I like them. America has its problems, but I think I'd rather stay here.
Yeah, I'd rather stay here too.
Avoid the crazy shit over there. Normally one of the first questions I ask my guests on here is, where are you originally from? I like to get to know where people come from and that stuff.
This is a great, since we just talked about Bakersfield, we had a little California moment. Yeah. I was born in California, Los Angeles.
Hell yeah, okay, another California kid.
Yes,
fuck yeah.
Yes.
And then how long did you stay in California?
So I lived in the same house till I was 18.
Okay, hell yeah.
Suburbs of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Then,
what part? Because I'm from Orange County, so I'll know where you're talking about.
Oh,
so
dude.
Where are you from?
I'm Calabasas.
Okay, damn, nice.
We were really close to each other.
Yeah, you know, might be a random cut, but Malibu, and then have you ever heard of the campground of the famous beach spot Leo Carrillo?
Yeah.
I camp there every year with my family. I'm going there on Monday, and it will be my family, like the LeJean Miller family's 50th year in a row camping there. So
what?
That I know that whole area very, very well.
That's crazy.
Small fucking world, right?
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
We have so much to talk about. I feel like.
Yes, I'm so excited.
We're from the same ilk. Yeah, Leo Carrillo, I have just like vague memories of going there for like Girl Scout trips and weird stuff like that. Like,
it's a very like weird campground, and it's weird to tell people that you camp on the beach. It's a very California thing. I mean, it's a 5-minute walk to the beach. It's not cold. There's not bears. There's paved campsites with like hookups for electricity. It's glamping for sure in some capacity.
That sounds so fun.
It's so fun. It's such a good time. My uncle is like a really good guitarist, and he has like probably like 80 songbook that he knows all the songs in, and takes requests every night and plays them. And like I'm talking like from like Carole King to Nirvana to the Beatles to like new Revolution music. Like he knows all these. He just takes requests. Like you send him an email in August, and he learns it by June. And so it's such a good time. It's one of my favorite trips. I try to make sure that I'm out there for it every year type thing, at least for a day.
I love this. This is so cute. I love families that are like really good at traditions.
Yes.
Do you feel close with your family?
Oh yeah, my family is really, really close. I mean, like I guess it's your immediate family is like your mom, dad, sisters. We're all close. I talk to my mom. I honestly, a little less because I have my roommate Dale. He'll go out to comedy stuff with me, but whenever Dale's not with me, I call my mom every night on the way back from open mics. Like we talk almost every day. I talk to my dad less because we're men and we don't have feelings, but like we talk once a week. My grandparents, before I left, every Sunday night was Sunday dinner. Like we would have with my grandparents, my aunt and uncle who camp with us too, who I don't have brothers, but my two male cousins are like my brothers, so they'll come over. It's always a good time. And then this family event, it's really cool because it started 50 years ago. The first time I went, I was like 6 weeks old. Aww. I was like so little that I got a fever, and they like had to take me home early and shit. I was so tiny. Aww. But every year, it's such a small world. I met my girlfriend there. When we got older, we all started bringing friends. Like that was the thing is now the group's even bigger because I would bring my friends. I've had friends that have gone for 8 or 9 years, since we were kids. Mm-hmm. And my cousin, who's like my brother, he was in show choir. And, he was one of those guys growing up that always had more girlfriends than he did guy friends.
Yeah.
But like platonic friends. He just vibed better with them. And so he brought Erica like just as a friend, and then we just hit it off at a fire one night. I asked her out, and 5 years later we're still
Shut
still
up.
here. Yeah,
That's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, so I like that place just holds a special like place in my heart. So many great memories of like my childhood to adulthood there. So
That's beautiful,
Yeah.
dude. I'm so happy for you in your life.
No, thank you. I don't think I've ever shared that on here before, but it's like, yeah, it's one of the more like, it's what I look forward to. There's only been 1 year I didn't go, and I like wasn't allowed to leave because of football. They were just like, we're doing summer ball this year. You have summer classes if you leave your cut. So it's like, you make your choices then. But otherwise, 21 of my 22 years I've gone there. So
wow.
Or wait, no. 23. I'm 24. Wow, that was
You're 24?
really bad. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought I was 22. That was just really bad mental math in my head right there.
Dude, I've started to be like confused about my age. I never thought I would be like that.
I know it's rude to ask a woman how old you are, but how old are you?
No, it's okay. I'm 26. So I'm still like young,
Yeah.
I don't feel old.
I turn 25 next month, and I feel like that the back half of the 20s will start to make me feel old. Not like old, but like no longer a teenager kid, because I still feel like that a little.
I would say, like, I've been talking to people about this. Like, I distinctly feel that weird difference almost.
Yeah.
Now that I'm 26. 25 was, like, not really much of a change, but suddenly 26, I'm like, whoa. I just feel a little more adult. A lot of stuff, like, just came together last year.
Yeah.
It's almost like truly, like, life was like, okay, you're 25 now. We'll start, like, clearing some stuff up.
Yeah, I think maybe it could be us moving out here too. Cause did you?
Yes.
I know you went away for college, and then
I did.
And so that's a little different. I don't know because it's like you're gone. You're not gone the whole year. Sometimes you come home for a month at a time, which isn't. We'll never like. I realized that when I left, I was like, oh, I'll never come home for a month again. Like that's crazy. You just. You'd be paying rent somewhere else and not living there. It just would be. It wouldn't make sense anymore.
Yes.
And so I came back a couple weeks ago for some shows, and a couple comics I ran into were like, you seem so mature. Like, did something bad happen out there? And I don't think it's that, but I think we're like, actually, we moved out of state, not for college, not because I don't know about you, but because you went to University of Kansas, right? Yeah. Okay. So
good memory.
Yeah. I do my little research before and stuff.
Wait, where'd you go?
I went to Murray State, like the flag you're sitting on, or that behind you. It's Do you watch basketball? It's in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky. So I would have.
Oh my god! So you also did bougie ass California City to buttfuck nowhere.
Yes,
dude.
So
okay.
you understand, because it was like, I mean, Murray, Kentucky was so in the middle of nowhere. Two things: one, you had to fly into Nashville and then drive 2 hours into Kentucky to get to the thing. So you had to fly into Tennessee, drive across state lines to get to the campus.
Oh my god.
Two, there was like the school, we had 12,000 people. 12,000 people, yeah. So a decent amount of people. But the town itself only had 12,000 people if you didn't count the students. And they were voted the cutest small town in America in 2015.
Aww.
So it was really weird because it was like campus was on like the southwest side of the city. And then on like the northeast was just 65-year-old people, Confederate monuments, like could not be more opposite places just in one small little town.
How interesting.
It was very weird, but it's same thing as you were. I don't know about you, but you were always like, all right, you'd count down almost like, all right, I'm back in 3 months, and then I'm back for like 2 weeks. Okay, it's almost summer break. Because even with football, I would get a month off before, like from like, the end of May, all of June, I would have off. So it's like, you would get these months off, and then when I moved out here, all of a sudden you were like, oh, if I go home for a week, like that's a long time to be home now.
Yes.
And I feel like that kind of turned me into the adult, is where like you kind of just have to accept that you have your own life out here now and your own responsibilities and shit like that. How do you feel about it?
I completely resonate. I think that's a very good point. Like it's the difference between kind of still being dependent and kind of living your own life. And I would agree, moving to Austin matured me. And also, so moving to college, I would always count down the days till I was going home. I actually didn't like Kansas until like my third year there.
Okay, cool. So I hated Murray, like,
oh my God,
for most of my time, till about the end too.
Were you there for football specifically?
Yeah.
Okay,
otherwise, never in a million years would I have ever
Right.
gone to this place. It was my only D1 offer, so it was like
Okay.
school for free, or I could go somewhere I maybe like more, but I'm paying 10 grand a semester. So just,
dude, I went to KU because it was the cheapest school I got into.
yeah, that's kind of,
I didn't have sports scholarships. But
yeah, but
yeah, that's how I ended up there. It's like, I don't want to spend the money.
it's that second choice. And you, like, I found that, of course, you eventually you learn to love the place, and you ignore the flaws. Or yeah, totally, go ahead. Sometimes we smoke weed on here, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's not your number one choice, and of course you learn to love those things, but it's hard to love it like you would if you could have gone anywhere you wanted.
Yes.
Because it's like, for me, I had these dream schools that I thought were going to offer me that never did. And I'm sure that you had dream schools that you wanted to get scholarships to and get into, and it just didn't work out financially. And so you kind of have to settle. And it's weird because you kind of, I mean, did you ever feel like you envied the people who got their choices, or you felt like do you ever have like a little bit of regret about it, I suppose?
In the beginning, it was regret city. I felt like I'd made the worst decision of my life. I felt like I fucked my life up.
Yeah.
It was so dramatic.
I called my mom crying after the first week, telling her I wanted to come home. Yes, dude. Fuck yeah, yes. Crying, buddy.
That's so funny. I remember it was so crazy because, like, I don't ever cry. Like,
yeah, me either.
Rarely.
I'm not a big crier.
Okay, cool. Like once every few months, maybe.
Yes, very rarely.
Yes.
Like, it has to be a really touching show, honestly, or a movie is what really makes me cry these days.
Dude, Pixar movies. Like, that's all that gets me.
Those movies. Inside Out, bro, Coco, the movie about the piano play, like all these new Pixar movies just rip your heart out for no reason.
No reason. And why does it feel so good? It's like, why is this the only way I can connect with myself? This is so messed up.
I'm just addicted to Disney movies and tears.
Dude, in college, actually, when I would trigger crying sometimes so that I could like feel.
That's good. I used to be like that. And now, like, where you would hide the tears almost. Like, you had to force them out.
Yeah.
Now I kind of try to let it happen organically if it's going to happen. Because it feels nice to cry. But same as you. Good. I'm not like the biggest crier.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that when I would trigger crying, shout out Finding Nemo, that scene where all the fish are swimming down in the net because they get caught. And Dory gets caught. And they go, keep swimming. Yeah. It's like perfect cinema. Like the way it gives me goosebumps every time. And then I start crying.
Goosebumps from a show.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But I remember, so in college, literally like first week, it was just like, what have I done?
Yeah.
And I like found a tree and I just started sobbing under it. And I was like, what is my life turned into? Who am I? And then everything just was fucked up for like a year. I was trying to leave. But I just didn't want to go through the hassle of like going to a community college while you figure out the next step and all that. Yeah. So I was like, why don't I just get this shit over with? And hopefully when I'm done, I can like return to civilization and have a good life.
Yeah, it's weird because you obviously you feel so dramatic and like I cried too, and then you end up looking back on it and it's not the worst thing. But yeah, it's just like, okay, so for the longest time, the regret thing, it was obviously a little different for me. Mm-hmm. I had a great time. I mean, I lived in like the definition of a party house where we had parties every weekend. I got to do that. Went to a lot of parties. I traveled. We would scrape together our change and go to different different places. I have friends everywhere. Like, I'm featuring in Columbus, Georgia, and I know like 3 teammates who are gonna come through because they live in the Atlanta, Columbus area. So like, I
love that.
Really, really cool stuff like that. It creates a tight-knit family. But there was part of me where I was like, damn, it would have been nice to just live like a regular student and like party, and your weekends be your party, and not have the responsibilities of football. And you always have that worry where you're like, okay, I can't get in too much trouble because I'll get punished by coach and shit like that.
Yeah. That doesn't sound fun. I didn't know you were like an athlete.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I lost all the weight before I came here, so I kind of hide it well because I'm 6'3", 190 pounds right now. I was 6'3", 245.
Holy
250
shit.
at some point. So I was 60 pounds heavier, muscle too, but, just circle ass face, no neck, like just one long unit of fucking broness was who I was.
Hell yeah.
But I do think it's cool because that thing I felt like I've missed on, I feel like I kind of am getting to live that now in the Austin comedy scene.
Good.
Where we're almost like a giant fraternity. Because
Yes.
all we're doing is just going out and telling jokes and being silly most nights. And any of these nights, you show up to these random bars where instead of being a stranger, you're like, oh, there's 2 other comics. And it doesn't matter who it is, go shoot the shit.
Yeah.
If I run into a random comic at a bar that's not like a comedy scene, dude, buy drinks for them. Like, let's get fucked up. Like, it's very cool that we have that. And we moved to a new city and weren't just alone. Like, we didn't have to just start off. We're not just here trying to make friends with like our tech coworkers or some shit. Like, we're just vibing with a bunch of silly other people, which is fucking cool.
You are saying so many things that like I think about all the time. Like, I love this. We're very similar.
Yes, we have. I like it's the California thought process, and that's why we don't hang out all the time. But the interactions I've had with you, I enjoy because I think you're a good natured person. And
thank you.
The final bit of my Tony Robbins knowledge is just, dude, we're all comedians. I'll never understand beef or why people are angry. Like this is the most silly shit that, sadly, not to be the bad guy, most of us are going to quit and fail at. And the very select few will get through. So fucking enjoy it, dude.
Yeah.
Why not have the time of your life for, if your comedy career is 3 years or 30 years, enjoy it before like, oh, what, you spent 3 years just starting beef and being curmudgeons with people?
I think that's such a good attitude to have.
It's a team sport, kind of, you know?
It is, and I just want to highlight what you said. Like, the idea of it being, I always say, this is like what I think, or I always thought the college experience should have been, a community, seeing people everywhere you go. Everyone moved here around the same time, so it weirdly felt like we were a class of people coming in. Right. I connect with most people I meet, and whereas like my last job in Kansas City, like I was pretty happy in life, but like I'd go to work and it felt like I really didn't connect with anyone. I felt just different. And here it's like I'm just among people just like me with the same dreams, and I just adore it. I'm like, and I never felt like I got that college experience of
totally,
because I was isolated. I didn't have a sport, but I was so just like broken and just figuring shit out that I really just became a hermit. And so I just kind of was always jealous watching my friends go to their schools and like join a whatever sorority or whatever. I didn't want to do that stuff, but now I think I just had to grow up a little and see the benefit of it. Yeah,
that's really funny. I think we are very similar people, and our experience with college is just almost identical, where we felt out of place. You felt like you missed out a little because of, you know, outside opportunities, how you felt, how you perceived things, and just, it is kind of cool that we get to experience that now, because I think a lot of people finished college and then we're just like old people after that. Like, you graduate, you get a job, and life is now boring till you die. And I'm not saying that there's, you know, I'm sure there's people who have jobs and have fun, because this flip side, if you move it forward now, as much as I love comedy, and I know this is what I meant to do, and I love it.
Good.
There is part of me occasionally, because I do have a college degree, where I'm like, how sick would it be if I just lived in Austin? I had like one of those bullshit $30 an hour jobs that everyone here has. I worked my Monday through Friday 9 to 5, and every night I went down to these East 6 bars and spent bar tabs and had a good time, because like all the people that were trying to get to like us as audience members and become fans of us are all those people where you're just like, how are there people at bars every night? Because there's just so much money in this scene, where I'm like, that would be cool to just live in like a luxury high-rise apartment and do that. But I think it would be like the college thing where you're not happy. I would just be like, this sucks. Like, I have all this shit, but this isn't as fun as like the real experience that I think we kind of get to have here, which is cool.
And you jumped right here from college? Is that pretty much what happened?
I graduated college in December of 2019. So I got back January 2020, and then February, and then January I was in Korea, and then February I came back, and then March the pandemic hit.
Okay.
So like I did a little comedy in Orange County before, did a park mic or two in the pandemic and then moved here, last June. So pandemic was over here, but not done in California type thing. And
right.
I love it here.
I love it too.
It's a good opportunity. I kind of don't see do you see yourself moving back anytime soon or not really, right?
No, I'm like so thankful that the weird sequence of events with the pandemic happened and we're all here. So now I'm just like, I'm going to ride it out. I want to be here as long as comedy is popping here.
Yeah.
And then I would go wherever comedy goes. I'm just happy.
That's kind of my plan is just when I moved here, I told myself and like, my loved ones and shit like that, like, all right, I'm moving there for 2 years. I'm going to grind it out, get it way better, get a bunch of spots, and then I'll make connections and I'll move back to LA. And
yeah,
I mean, I'm a year and a month living here and I have 0 connections in LA, but I have a bunch of connections out here and I like it out here and I get to perform in San Antonio and Dallas and Austin, and I'm going to Georgia, and I can go back to California whenever. So I really like it out here, and it's one of those things where I always tell people I can't make a negative move. It has to be like a equal or forward move. Like I mean, I'm an open micer here who gets booked on shows. If I move back to LA, I'll be a brand new open micer there, and the thing is as I get more and more up here in the scene, I don't want to just be like, all right, I'm running shows in Austin. I'm getting spots at Rogan's Club. I'm getting spots all around town. Now let's move back to LA so I can get like 2 spots a month and try and resubmerge. And also then pay out the ass for rent. It just is so cheap and nice here that I just can't see myself leaving.
I lived in Kansas City because after I finished college, I ended up I wanted to be around my friends there. And Kansas City was great. And then I just never wanted to go back to LA, even though I kind of wanted to try comedy because I was just scared of LA. It's too expensive, everything you said. And I'm just so thankful there's a scene here now because like where else would I have gone? Maybe New York.
Which just would have been just as expensive, just as cutthroat. And honestly, like it would have sucked because it would have just been another culture shock where we're as Californians, New York is very different. The weather, the subway, it would have just, I mean, you would be living in a shithole. A shithole studio apartment with probably a roommate in it. Like it would not be a pleasant experience.
How lucky are we that like this exists?
I know. Because I mean already like my rent went up $200 as like a unit, and I looked up around, that's kind of what everyone's rent did. They said the housing market jumped $100,000 in 1 year. So like
we're like the worst, right?
We're ruining it. We're whatever, we're California and you're Texas or whatever. But there's with all the tech companies moving here, it'll get expensive. I think in like 10 years, it'll be very expensive here. But like hopefully in 10 years, I got some money and it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Like at least we're here before. Like we kind of established. Yeah. We live here.
Yeah. Dude, everyone in this apartment's job is an Uber Eats driver. That's stupid. That is all our occupations. And we pay rent no problem. Like so dumb. It's the only place that we could do that's also a big city. So it works out perfect. I love Austin.
Yeah, sometimes I'm in my apartment like, how the fuck did I get this? What is happening? It's the nicest place I've ever lived.
Yeah, no, exactly. Same. I mean, this is an extra room that people crash in and I produce podcasts in. Like we could get a smaller apartment, but we're like, we could afford it. And we're like, it helps having a podcast room and people to stay. Like it's like that out here, which is very, very cool. Is that a vape?
Yes.
Did you hear that the FDA is moving to ban JUULs today?
No way.
Yeah. How are you going to ban JUULs but not cigarettes? How does that make any sense?
Also, just JUULs. Like, I have a swore-in AirPod. Yeah. I keep looking at the camera.
No, I look at it too. You're good, yeah.
So I don't know. They're not coming for me, and it's the same shit. So that's stupid.
It's real. Well, because I tried to. It's actually funny because it was trending on Twitter this morning, and I was like, whoa, the JUUL. Because, like, the JUUL, I feel like, was everyone's introduction into, like, portable nicotine devices where...
It was the first one.
I mean, when did you graduate? What year?
2017.
Okay, so, I mean, still, JUULs were popping when we were in college. Like,
popping.
Dude, I remember every room in our apartment had a JUUL charger somewhere. Like,
yes!
one was stuck in the PS4, one in the wall.
Yes,
like, everywhere. The stupidest chargers in the world. The stupid where they had to stand. Yes! You couldn't plug them into it. They'd always be sideways out the wall.
And then you'd find JUUL pods everywhere.
Everywhere.
And you'd be like, does this have any juice in it?
What is that? Oh, shit. There's a JUUL pod on the floor. They'd be stuffed in the couches and shit.
Yes.
They were a time. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think any educated person was like, this is good for me. Mm-mm. But it was supposed to be better than the cigarette. And I just can't. Again, like I said, I don't do a lot of research, and I couldn't find the exact reasoning why. But how can it? There's no way it can be worse than a cigarette if it's the cigarette replacement. Unless it just causes, like, cancer at a higher rate, which I don't think that's that's not what's happening here.
I bet it's because of the kids. I feel like there was a big problem with kids.
That was
vaping.
A big thing I read. Because, like I said, there wasn't like an article with it. It was just like the FDA is doing this. Like something tweeted it and everyone had their opinions. And I get the kid thing. But like you said, there's a million other flavors.
Yeah.
And, I told this story a few weeks ago on the pod. Bro, I was sneaking my grandma's cigarettes at like 11 and 12, like stealing them. We would steal and smoke one. It wasn't the candy flavor that appealed to us. It was it was like the mischievousness and like dude, you could get rid of all vapes and make them all dick and cum flavors, and like kids would still take them and smoke them and steal them because this sounds dumb, but it's like it's what you do as a kid.
It is.
You break rules and try to figure out who you are as a person. So I just couldn't believe, and it's just kind of funny because it's almost, for us, it's like the end of an era.
It
is. Like, it has to feel like when our parents, when they banned like the no seatbelt law, or they they started putting engines in the front of cars because people were getting rear-ended and exploding and shit. Like,
shit.
Back when just like those things where they're like, why are they doing this? Because a lot of people are like, I saw a bunch of people were like, dude, kids are gonna take it either way. Fuck you. Bring back mango JUUL pods, bro.
Yes, I loved mango JUUL pods.
Yeah, that was the flavor. But I'm like,
God,
you're looking at this the wrong way here, dude.
Dude, you're right though. This is like this. We're starting to have like historical moments that I realize are like our history.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's the end of like our like stuff that were like pop culture references almost. I mean, everyone had a JUUL. Rappers rapped about JUULs. There were commercials for it. I mean, dude, if you say the word JUUL, in my head I picture the spelling JUUL before JEWEL. Like that's how.
Or the singer.
Or the singer, exactly. And
it surpassed the literal JUUL.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, someone was like, do you have jewels? I wouldn't think rubies and diamonds. No. I would be like, yeah, I got some vape sticks here. Like, it's
like, not a JUUL, I got a Swarren.
Yeah. I was just like, damn. R.I.P. the JUUL,
R.I.P. the JUUL. That is so, like, it's crazy that we watched JUULs come into life, and now I can't believe I have a vape sometimes. Yeah. Like, it's so normal to me now, but I didn't even smoke cigarettes when the JUUL came out. Yeah. And I was just like, wow.
There's definitely something to be said about that because, like, I don't smoke cigarettes. The story was there was, like, a brief period of, like, the ages of 11 to 12 I would steal cigarettes, and then I never did ever again.
That's, that's such a young age to
such
steal
a
cigarettes.
Terribly young age. Like, I probably should have been, like, 6, 7, and then I started smoking cigarettes at 11. So
it's kind of badass, honestly. Yeah. Smoked one cigarette.
Yeah, just fucking was on cloud 9 after it wasn't even in my mouth, and I was like, I can feel my skin.
And you thought you were getting high.
Yeah. It was. I had no frame of reference to anything else. But the JUUL definitely. Days. I'm not gonna pretend like the JUUL. I'm sure it helped a lot of people have a healthy alternative or quit smoking, but it also made a lot of people smoke who wouldn't smoke because I feel like, especially as a girl, the cigarette narrative is more frowned upon for you. Like, it's grosser if a girl smokes cigarettes than guys. Don't know why. Just, you guys ate the apple or whatever,
Yeah, no, I could see it. Guys are kind of, like, known for being, like, a little sweaty and smelly and, like, rugged, and we're supposed to be, like, fruity and fresh.
It's not supposed to. It's my favorite thing is when there's an unreasonable, like, woman's standard, I go, like, fuck, you guys shouldn't have ate the apple. And it drives people insane. It's one of my favorite little little trolls.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Because you are insane if you think that that's my reasoning. But there's a lot of people that's their reasoning.
Right.
And that's the weird part. But
oh, yeah. I'm a comedic genius, so I sense your irony there. But I'm sure there's people who are like, wow, this guy.
Yeah, that's what I live for.
Yeah, right? I love fooling people.
It's so fun. The JUUL, though, yeah, it definitely made more people smoke, especially because, like, as a girl, like, dude, I'm so fortunate that nicotine just doesn't do it for me because because I love drinking if there's any like fun reason to do it. I love smoking. Like I started drinking coffee again, and I just love the routine of having a cup of coffee in the morning, and I don't even need it sometimes. Like I slept 12 hours. I don't need fucking coffee, bro. I've been awake for 3 hours and it's 4 p.m. Like
every day for me.
Yeah, get your life together. But like I get into habits and I like things that make me feel good. Nicotine doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. But
I understand how, like, for a lot of people, all of a sudden, it was like you almost didn't use nicotine because it was so gross. And for you, I mean, guys, I just watched Forrest Gump where he's like, she tastes like cigarettes. Like that. It's gross for a woman to smell like cigarettes for some reason. But with the JUUL, it made it okay. And now, God, I hate myself for saying this.
Say it.
Oh, it's such
I'm evil Kermit.
Yes, scumbag thing. I was downtown the other day, and there was like a group of, girls walking to Rainy Street, like sorority type girls. They were all, this one girl was hitting her JUUL, and I don't know why, but I was just like, there's something hot about like a girl hitting a JUUL.
Really?
And I don't know why that's like a standard now, but it's almost like that sorority, like college, like, oh, I like to party. I like a good time. I fucking hit a JUUL at 11 a.m. Like, and it's made it into itself where I'm like, I know I'm not alone. That there's people, that there's something where you're just like, oh, she smokes a JUUL? Like, she's a freak. Like, she's a crazy girl,
Brandon, I love this. This is the best news I could hear. Like,
yeah,
what a great take. I have not heard anyone see like an upside to a vape yet. But you know
lying.
what? Yeah.
I think they're lying. And don't get me wrong. I also think that, and it's, hey, guys, we're getting a beauty standard turn on us. I think any guy with a JUUL looks like a douchebag.
Okay.
I think you look like an asshole. That's not fair. You should have ate the apple.
He should have been eating the apple.
Stuff fell out of the sky, guys, and it scared me. But yeah, like it.
It was God.
That's, what's funny, and this won't be funny except only for me and you. So guys, one of the sound panels has fallen off the wall, but I was wondering where it had fallen before the podcast, because I looked up and I was like, where's the sound panel? And I now know that it had been stuck to the light thing. But when it fell right now, it seemed as it appeared out of thin air. So
you were like, what is happening?
That really like changed my life right there. I was like, oh. So yeah, for you guys, not funny. For us, it was
very funny. You were like, earthquake, California. Shout out San Andreas Fault.
Yes.
San Andreas.
Go off, Queen.
Yeah, I vape.
Yeah.
Can I say, okay, on that note, like, I feel like a bitch because I used to be such like a judgmental. Like in high school, I would judge my friends that drink because I was always like, I'm not going to drink till I'm 21.
Dude, I used to tell people if you smoked weed, you're going to ruin your life. And look at me now. Like,
I changed immediately as soon as I tried both of them.
Yeah.
But now, like, I get that. I get that thing of like being a little bit of a goody two shoes. But now, if anyone like judges me for vaping, or it's like I drink Diet Coke out the ass. If anyone says like Diet Coke's bad for you,
aspartame or whatever the fuck that,
Oh, you vape?
Yeah.
Oh, aren't you worried about? I'm like, shut up, you dork.
Yeah.
You dork. What are you doing?
Yes, dude. Shit on them.
Like, that's how of course, on the outside, I'm like, oh, whatever. Then I think in my head, fuck that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Dork that thinks vaping isn't cool as heck. Like.
Yeah. I know what you mean. And that's the thing. I don't know if I think every girl looks hot vaping. It's one of those things where I've never seen a girl vaping and been like, ew.
Right.
But I think there's kind of like a certain look. Like, I think you have that look. Like, I don't know what look it is. And I don't mean that. I feel like I shouldn't tell someone they have a look and then have no words to explain myself. But you have a look where you look good smoking a JUUL. You're not one of those people who looks weird smoking it. And I don't know what it is, but I think I think you have to hold yourself a certain way. I think you have to have like a confidence that you don't care. It has to not be like ashamed about it. And I think girls have won this one. Like they get to look decent smoking a JUUL, whereas a guy, you're like, bro, fucking, you gonna go to a vaping contest and blow clouds earlier? Sick flat clouds, bro. I don't know.
I love that. I'm obsessed with how mean guys are to each other. I think it's great. I think women need more of that. Like, we need to be able to say, like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think for guys, because I bet you it's only guys that share this point of view where they're like, yeah, I get that. Because I think it's like the idea that the girl's like a little bad. She's like,
I totally get it.
She's not your normal. That's what I'm looking for. Is she's not like your goody two shoes, follows the rules. You're kind of like, oh, she breaks the rules, but it's not far enough. Because I don't want a girl who breaks the rules so much she's doing meth.
Right.
Like that's a different,
too much.
It's a different package to unpack. You know, you want the girl who JUULs and it just like gets fucking zooted for like 15 seconds and then it's cool, you know?
A vape is like, I feel like it says like, I've been around the block, tried it, and now I need something to keep me from shaking. Yeah. But, you know, I'm not going to go into crack now.
Yeah, and that's respectable. The funny thing though is like, Erica, if you're listening to this, I don't want you to start smoking a JUUL. I don't know why, but like, because I know it's bad.
Doesn't need a JUUL. Because here's the thing,
perfect. I know it's not good for you, so it can't be someone you care about. You know what I mean? Not that I don't care. I'm just
it's
you know,
so
I gotta keep contradicting. I gave you a compliment and then I keep contradicting it. So.
No, you're nailing it. I feel fantastic right now.
Okay, good.
It's not good for you. Then it's cognitive dissonance. It's like, I know when I stop one day, I'll look back at how I'm huffing this vape now and be so like, oh, wow, eesh. I was going through it.
Same with me smoking weed. I don't look at weed and be like, oh, my God, this is crack. Oh, my God, I'm ruining my life. But I'm also not someone who's like, it's medicine, man.
I hate that.
I'm healing myself.
Yeah.
I just like to have fun.
I love having fun.
And it's a drug that you can do and then just go socialize as a human. Like it's not, you're not biting your jaw. You're not crazy. Like you're a functional member of society. I know that maybe it's not having extreme adverse effects, but there's no positive effects of this.
That's like so much that I do. There's no reason other than it's like a fixation of some
it's
sort.
older Brandon and Katie's problem, dude. It's 40-year-old our problem. You know?
Exactly.
We got money for medical bills. It's not my problem now.
We're living in Joe Rogan's neighborhood in Austin.
Exactly, yeah.
we're gonna make it, dude.
Yes, there's something I want to talk to you about. We can cut it if you don't want, but I heard
this.
You did OnlyFans, right?
For
a little bit. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Because I want you to talk about it, but I also have like questions about it. So how long did you do it, or are you still doing it? Like, what's it?
I did it, I think, for maybe about a year.
Okay.
It started when I was in Kansas City before I moved here, so maybe around like 2019.
Damn, so you got on OnlyFans before. It was cool.
Did I? Was it? No.
I feel like OnlyFans was like peak COVID. Like
that might have been it. It might have been right before COVID, actually.
Yeah, and that's before the times, because I feel like it took like we were about like a couple months into COVID before it really started to be like OnlyFans, you know?
That's interesting. I guess I did kind of catch the wave a little bit.
Yeah, you're a trendsetter. You're like the Maya Angelou of OnlyFans.
It was, that's what I've heard that a lot.
Should have a business card that says that.
The Maya Angelou.
Catie Housman, Maya Angelou of OnlyFans, professional JUUL hitter. And then just pass that out at comedy shows.
I know why the caged pussy sings. Is that Maya Angelou? I wish I knew more.
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I just picked a random fancy name. I know. I don't know. I know she paints, and that's about it.
That makes me feel so much better. I think she's like a speaker from Africa, I think.
Maybe.
God, I got to
I'm not going to look it up. I think it's better
anything.
if we don't know, and we let the listeners scream into the radio, because someone knows who it is.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, just go read a book, you nerd. God, I'm so bad at roasting. What was I saying? Oh, OnlyFans. So yeah, I started around the COVID thing. I was like, just wanted to make some extra money. Yeah. And honestly, my best friend told me that someone we knew was like killing it on OnlyFans. Yeah. And I remember being like, oh, I thought it was only for like hot Instagram influencers who have a following. I didn't know you could just be a random girl doing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was just like, I'm going to try it. And then I did. And it was crazy. It was like life changing. It really like was empowering in a lot of ways.
Fuck yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, it's just like another weird standard where it's just like, I literally like, you know what I mean? It's like I could care less who does OnlyFans. It doesn't make you, it'd be weird to think of someone less because of it. And it's just like, yeah, like here's what it is like most people I feel like are just jealous because it's like you said, you're like, oh, I thought you had to be like a hot model. Nah, women's bodies are just significantly and matter-of-factually more beautiful than men's bodies. So like the most like average women's body looks so much better than some of the good-looking men's bodies because it's just, I mean, yeah, we can get abs and muscles to show off, but like we're allowed to not wear shirts. So like our OnlyFans would be like pictures of our dicks, which no one is gonna pay money for those. People get them involuntarily all the time, let alone paying money for them. So
absolutely,
that's so cool. So you said it was empowering and
well, what you just said, that's what it taught me. Like I didn't realize how low men's standards are. Like and in a beautiful way. Like it really showed me that like everyone kind of does have beauty. Not that it's not like I was like thinking everyone was going to be like, go home, troll. You're not an Instagram influencer. But I just didn't. It was more the things where it'd be like just the comments were so gritty and the things they were asking for were so not what I expected. Like I thought you had to just look gorgeous all the time. But I was like, oh no, it's just about the titties and the hoo-ha and the ass, like, and they want to see some dirty stuff.
Yeah, what was like the craziest request you ever got, if you want to share?
Oh, I'm trying to think. There were just a lot. There wasn't anything like weird. Yeah. Like, but
because I started thinking of some crazy, like the weirdest shit I've heard and being like, damn, I wonder if anyone asked that.
Oh, yeah?
Like, did someone ask you to, like, take a shit through a hammock and send them a picture?
No. I feel like if I did that, then I'd be, like, a top girl.
Okay,
but
yeah, you're right.
the girls who do that stuff, I had a girl who got into armpit pictures, and she was killing it.
Wow.
So I was like, damn, you got to find, like, that weird niche.
Yeah. How much would you charge? What was your...
Honestly... That was the worst part, like putting a sale on yourself. Yeah. But I would do like $8 a month.
That's a good price.
Yeah.
Because I think I get it. Because it's like, dude, if I was a fucking woman, I would be like, this is $20 pussy. Like, you guys got to pay. So I get that. But as a guy, like, I've never bought an OnlyFans. I've had a girlfriend during the time of OnlyFans, and we had a discussion where we were like, I think if you buy someone you know's OnlyFans, that crosses a line. So we were like, all right, word. And then, like, I mean, and the thing is like, I feel like most guys share this. I would only buy an OnlyFans of someone I knew, not like a porn star or a famous person, because like that's out there. But the OnlyFans, what made it cool is like if you were if like Jim Jimerson, who followed you since high school, was so into you and thought you were so hot all these years, like would I'd give anything, and then all of a sudden for $8.99 can basically, besides having sex with you, fulfill his like most wildest dreams. It's very tempting, and that's what makes it cool. Now, like, I'm not gonna go buy my favorite porn star's OnlyFans because it's already out there. But like,
that's what I never understood.
It's the taboo-ness of like, oh, like, yo, I had a home ec class with her. Like, let's see what those titties do. Like, that's really all OnlyFans.
Yes, that's what it really is.
And so, okay, $8.99, fair price, and
so many guys from high school.
Yeah, because you can see who like buys it, right? And stuff.
Yeah, and some of them, I was like so open about it. I would obviously like hide it from certain people on my story, but I'd put it up there, like, go check out my OnlyFans. And I had people like DMing me, like, I think because I was putting it out there, they weren't afraid to be like, well, you're putting it out there.
Yeah, you're proud of it. It's not. You're not making it. You're taking away the narrative that they want to put on it. So you're empowering yourself. Like, you're taking the power away from like you no one can slut shame you if you're open about it. People can slut shame you when they find your hidden OnlyFans account. Yeah. But when it's out in the open, like, yeah, bitch, like, I just made fucking way more money than you did with your fucking enclosed hidden pussy. Like, be woke and show that shit. Like,
and like, just who's watching? Random ass strangers I'm never gonna see, or people from high school I'm never gonna see. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good.
It's like, who cares? It's just a body.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, for most people, it's like you get out of high school and then all of a sudden, like, you can start hooking up with people that you went to high school with. Because, like, all the bullshit of, like, oh, you hooked up with so-and-so, or, oh, this and that. No one cares. And, like, now we're all adults. Like, we're all just horny individuals. Like, to make sex not a normal, like, talked about thing is just weird at our age.
It is
like,
weird.
I have bits about that on stage where it's like when I go to talk about it, I'm always like, this isn't weird. Like, if you're feel weird right now, you're the weird one. Because, like, everyone watches porn. Like, everyone likes sex. Like, everyone has their own taboo shit that they like. So it's just,
dude, I love that. That's so
cool though. That, like, what's the most you ever made off, like, okay, like, what's the most you ever made off a request? And if you don't mind, what's ever most you made in a month?
Oh, no, I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
So I would say I hung around maybe like 22 to 25 fans.
Yeah. Okay,
and it was heartbreaking when people would leave. Like, that was another reason I stopped. I was like, I'm too emotionally invested in this.
Because you could see, like, you almost, oh, God, that's the worst. It's like when I had to stop looking at podcast numbers because, like, if an episode did bad, I'm like, is it the guest? Am I getting worse?
Yes.
Like, are people losing interest? Like, what's happening?
Like, something happened. I can see the numbers. So what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Why am I failing?
Yeah.
And it was like, it's nice to get paid to be like, you're hot. But then, when they're like, actually not quite hot enough. I need that money. Like, no. But I maybe made not that much, maybe like almost $200 in a month was my peak.
That's still $200 extra bucks.
It was decent.
Yeah.
It like helped kind of just give me some cushion. And at the time I had a steady job. So it was truly just a side fun thing.
But that's like all your drinks for a month.
Yes.
Like that funds any night out eating, any good night. And you don't even got to go through like the uncomfortableness of like socially interacting with these guys or getting free drinks and a free meal and then like fucking a guy after. Like, you just,
so easy.
Yeah.
And I would post like one photo or video a day. Like, that's all I was doing. I know some people do way more. So it was cool to see like you can make money off it. And then the biggest so what started happening was people would DM me and then they would just Venmo me and we'd do like a Snapchat thing, like send them a few photos. That happened a few times when I was doing it, and I would say maybe I got like $100 one time for just a series of photos.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Dude, I love fast money.
Yeah. There's
love
nothing
it.
better.
Nothing better. I have always been that person who just like really wants to get rich quick. Like, I will work hard. I can do it, but there's nothing that I want more than to win the lottery.
Yeah. No,
I guess I'm not
with you.
unique in that. But I don't know.
We just have similar thoughts because I'm the same way where it's like because I've been thinking, I'm like, I can go get like a more normal job, but I'm like, bro, I make $23 an hour driving my car by myself. Like, that's
so cool.
That's fire. Like, why would I go make 18 an hour at a restaurant? Like, fuck that. Or why would I go get some entry level job for like, you know what I mean, 15 an hour? Fuck that. So
yeah,
same way. Now, I'm assuming on OnlyFans you would show, like, you weren't a clothed OnlyFans person, or did you ever give the old full review? You ever give the downstairs tour? Is what is there any other way I can say it besides saying did you show your hoo-ha?
Did I show my hoo-ha? Don't you love saying hoo-ha?
I do like that, yeah.
I've almost said pussy like so many times, but why does that word feel so vulgar?
I said it once and I was like, ew.
I know, why does it feel so
So I switched to hoo-ha, yeah.
The coochie.
Yeah, coochie's another good one, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
The box.
The box. Oh my God. So I showed everything.
Yeah.
Which when you realize like you don't have that many body parts. So it's eventually I'm like, well, what else can I do?
There's only like so many angles you can take. And...
Yeah. It's truly like it's limited. So I don't know. I didn't get into anything like crazy. I wasn't opening up like full spread. I would say that my photos were very tasteful.
Hell yeah.
And I would have done that stuff, but I just if the people demanded it, I probably would have gone that way, but it seemed like just regular stuff was working. But yeah, it wasn't like anything like, oh, you pay for the OnlyFans and you're going to get a picture in a t-shirt like with almost showing your butt or something.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because I've never bought OnlyFans, but of course, like we were saying, the tabooness is that people get them, and then like my friends would buy them, and you'd get like the, oh, how was it? And like nothing would make a guy more mad. They're like, bro, I paid $15 and it was just the same fucking lingerie photo she was promoting it with. Like, this is bullshit, bro.
Yeah, terrible.
She's naked. Never. I don't even get to see a titty. And I'm like, That sucks. Like, that would make me mad, I guess, if I was like a true patron of your OnlyFans.
Absolutely.
But also, like, I get it, like, it's a thing where it's like, I feel like you should disclose that before, because it's annoying if you do it, but I'm still sure there's guys that would be interested in that.
Right.
But it's annoying if you think, I feel like it's annoying for a guy if you think you're getting one thing and then you're like,
I think that's a scam. Yeah. That's another part. A lot of
girls already kind of post like that. And you're like, bro, I was getting this for free.
That is another reason that it was actually like, I didn't consider it weird to do an OnlyFans, because I'm like, I know girls who post almost as explicit stuff on Instagram.
They're wearing the same thing that you're wearing. They just didn't turn around.
Yeah. And they're just confident in themselves, and they'll post that, and nobody says anything, but for some reason, if you put it as like a selling your body thing, it's suddenly different. So
yeah, that is really weird.
I respected my fans. I really did. Like, I think it's crazy for anyone to pay money to see that. So the fact that people were paying me money for it, I was very thankful. I was like, I want you to have a good experience here. This is an exchange. I love what you said. Like, why are we weird about sex? Like, let's stop being weird.
I mean, because I even get like why the generation, like our parents were weird about it, but it's like our generation. I mean, dude, it's like almost you're like a bigot and a weirdo, and like you're the minority in this situation. If you look, I don't think you need to be like, you don't have to be fucking open, but to be like, you watch porn, or like, oh, like you guys are having sex, like you had sex on the first date, you had a one night stand. What, dude? Get over yourself.
Right.
It's
or the number of people you slept with. Who
cares?
Who cares?
We're kind of past that point. Like, that's just old thought process at this point.
I agree. People are a little weird about it sometimes, and I've like asked a friend like, oh my god, like made a joke like, were you and your husband just banging or something? She was like, oh my god, stop it. No, I don't like to talk about that,
dude. Like,
I was like, what?
Yeah, like I assume, like that's why we assumed you guys got married, is he liked banging you enough that he was in his stupid male brain. He's like, I'm gonna do this forever. Like that's kind of our thought process. So like,
what weird like Amish society are we living in? Like, oh, don't speak of the sexual relations.
The forbidden fruit. You're like, all right, dude, fucking.
Yeah, you guys just like hang out and sit together and like do crossword puzzles.
You're like, you're a stay-at-home mom. Like, get some thrill in your life. Yeah,
get it together. Get a vape.
Yeah, exactly. Have some thrill. All right, so we're gonna wrap the podcast up here with the Would You Rathers. I got some for you. So most of them, some of them are on Reddit, so they have like a multiple choice where you can see what some voted. But first one is, would you rather get dissed in a rap battle against Eminem, or get into a roasting contest with Dave Chappelle? Both are in front of your crush.
I would rather be in a roast battle with Dave Chappelle just for the networking opportunity. Yeah.
See, like from that standpoint, I agree with you. Now if in the situation you remove, like, all right, you're gonna get no clout. In fact, he'll think of you less, or like it does nothing for your comedy career.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the rap battle, because the problem is Eminem has to rhyme my insults. Dave Chappelle just gets to say every little thing he's thinking about me.
Beautiful point.
And would just belittle me.
Yeah.
And I think more what in this situation is, it's like, I can take the belittling, I can take the roast, but you know what you're not going to be able to recover from is if he's like, this is wrong with you. You're not going to be able to unthink that like your significant other isn't just now thinking like, that is what's wrong with you, like all the times. It would be just the demoralizing nature of having that person, your crush, in front of you while it happens.
Yeah, that would be awful.
You get way more colorful just with the roast battle, just the insults that someone could put on you.
Absolutely. And then I would have to fight back, and there's no way you're going to beat him, and it's humiliating.
Now, it's like, again, I feel like I might have a better chance of like roasting Chappelle back than rapping against Eminem back.
Okay, good point.
But I'm still going to go with Chappelle. All right, this is a good one. This one, because I try to like briefly read them and not think about them too much, so I have a genuine thought process with you here. But
love that.
This one I thought was really crazy. Is, would you rather never have sex again, or never consume content ever again?
consume
So
content.
would you never be able, like, all right, because it's very vague. So let's kind of, okay, it says content includes movies, shows, animes, reels. So let's say I'll give you the radio. I'll give you music, but like radio station music, like no, curated type things.
Oh my gosh.
And that's about it, because it's like no movies or shows.
Yeah.
No internet content.
You just have to
You can get newspapers, and like that's it, or no sex ever again. Wow. This is a tough one.
Yeah, this is sad to like realize how important TV is to me.
Well, because then like my first thought is like, well, can I jerk off at least? Because it's like you're like, okay, I could make, like, I think that, like, let's word the question better. Would you rather never have sexual experiences ever again, or never consume basically modern content?
So it's like you can live the nun life, or you can live like
you're
a
like
weird
a nun Amish or
pre-80s life.
Yeah, fuck.
I think I'd have to give up content, because you still get some content, even if it's boring content.
Yeah, you would learn to appreciate the newspaper, the radio, talk show radio. You'd learn to get into books.
You'd actually probably become like a great person.
Yeah,
if I took out all the media I consume.
Yeah, and if you actually, that's such a good way to look at it, because you're also an idiot if you don't believe that sex is an important part of a relationship. So like
and
the
life.
fact that you would give up an important part of your relationship and life to be addicted to like social media is a terrible thought to have.
And I was so close to choosing that too.
So close to being like, yeah, I won't get laid and I'll ruin all my relationships so I can fucking watch TikTok 8 hours a day.
Yeah, I'm like, what about my novelty Twitter accounts?
Yeah, bro, what about my fucking 800 followers on Twitter? What are they going to do without me? Like,
I mean, come on, the algorithm needs me.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no way. Yeah, you're right. It literally, if you chose to no content ever, you would become you'd probably be a better lover too, because now that's only one of the few vices you have in life.
You like know yourself better because you're not distracting yourself with mindless television.
All right, so we're going with no sex. This one has multiple choice. 140 people, or 227, 154 said no sex. 73 said not. So we're in the majority here, which is good. Because an even split would be 110. So it's like 70-30. So that's pretty. People are being reasonable.
We're on the right side of history.
This surprised me because I actually, this doesn't. Reddit does. Normally, I feel like the Redditors lead towards more incel answers, and not having sex is a very incel answer. Oh, I'm an idiot. I read this wrong. We're in the minority here.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, shit. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. That was my bad.
Oh, my God.
30% said no content. 70% said no sex and content. So very incel Reddit of them to do that. To believe that you could. I don't
questioning
think people
myself.
really believe how they could survive without those things, unless you just literally never have sex. That would be the only way that I think you could be like, I don't need it. I already don't have it. But you're lying to yourself, dude.
Right.
Fuck TikTok, bro.
Fuck
what
all
TikTok
of it.
video has been better than a blowjob, dog? None of them. Ever. None. Ever.
Yeah, not really.
The worst blowjob isn't better than the best TikTok video. Fuck you.
Now I feel like I should stop consuming so much content. Like that really just showed me. I'm like, what am I doing?
That we seriously thought about that. We spent more time on that than would you rather rap battle against Eminem or Chappelle?
That one was easier. This one changed my world. What am I gonna do? I'm throwing away my TV.
All right, we got two more. Would you rather discover a shocking? Okay, would you rather discover you have your father's true identity as a serial killer? You find that out. Would you rather? This is written so confusingly. It was written way less. Okay, context. Your father is dead. You are rich and can barely sustain your family's needs every month, and you find out that your father is a serial killer. Had been a serial killer. Would you confess and be ostracized by society, or would you take that secret to the grave, forever haunted by your conscience, knowing someone was framed and imprisoned for his death? So, this was written...
What a weirdly detailed question.
This was written so poorly. So to summarize this for you, myself, and the listeners, your dad... Would you rather... Your dad is dead, and you find out he's a serial killer. Would you rather take it to your grave, or take it to your grave and imprison an innocent man, or confess and like let your family's name be dragged and taken down?
Okay, I want maybe I
Now that we
I'm
figured this
naive.
out, it's a little. This is harder now that I actually understand what the fuck this is saying.
I legit think that whoever wrote that like just found out their dad's a serial killer. That was
They're
way too
distraught,
expensive.
yeah.
You have a wife who loves you but is starting to
You
get
live
tired.
at 321 Arroyo name. You're like, what is happening right now?
Why do you have to specify how rich the dad was?
If anyone's gonna look up that address thinking it takes you anywhere, it's the address for Walter White's house in Breaking Bad. But
Nice, dude.
yeah.
Love that
I don't
show.
know why that's the first address that comes in my head, but
40 P Sherman 42 Wallaby
that's
Way,
another
Sydney.
good one. Yeah.
Throwback,
Yeah.
call back. Okay, I think I would confess because I hate wrongful imprisonment, and I think I would just feel too bad if somebody was framed for my dad being a serial killer.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because it's like I think the consequences of you confessing are just that people shit on your dad, which like I get. At first I was like, family over everything, but
Right.
your dad is a bad person. He's a serial killer, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I would love my dad anymore if I found out he was a serial killer.
Yeah.
So yeah, like let's not have someone spend their life in jail for a shitty person. So like, I don't give a fuck. Bring me on the talk shows. I'll shit on my dad now too that he's a serial killer.
Right?
Like
yeah.
I'm not on his. I don't find out he's a serial killer and become on his side.
Yeah, and they're like, you'll be ostracized from the community. I'm like, what community is mad at me because my dad killed people?
Yeah,
I
fuck
didn't
'em.
ask him to do that.
Wow, it's exactly 1,000 votes, and it's one vote off. One vote more saying take the secret to the grave. So a pretty
Wow.
even split. So that
People
wasn't
are
hard.
crazy.
I think most people just got confused and clicked one and kept scrolling because that was one of the most poorly worded would you rathers.
Horrible.
Okay, would you rather, final one, would you rather shrink 10 times smaller and become rich, or stay normal sized with your current money? Basically downsizing.
Honestly, I'd probably become tiny and become rich.
Yeah, I don't like being tall. It's overrated.
Yeah.
Now that I got a girl and I played sports, and like that's kind of what you use it for, is like getting I'm 6'3", and like sports, like now I just don't fit in shit. Long sleeve t-shirts stop halfway up my wrists even though they fit me everywhere else. Like, I would rather just be like 5'10" at this point. I get I would be, I don't know what
You'd be
10
tiny.
I'd be tiny, but like fuck it, dude. If there's a tiny community I can live in, I'm in.
You would be a short king, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'd be a short king. I just don't want to live alone as a tiny person. That fuck the money. That wouldn't be
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was thinking like it'd be nice if somebody else also chose getting money and being tiny, and then we could
Yeah.
all form a rich little tiny
Yeah,
community.
there's a movie called Downsizing with Matt Damon.
Right.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It
Do
looked
not
bad.
see it. Oh, it's
I love
so
hearing
bad.
this.
So bad. Like
God damn
so
it.
like my girlfriend, I saw it with, okay, I'm harder on movies. My girlfriend Erica likes every movie she sees. Did not like this movie. So that's how
Really?
you know it's a dog shit movie.
Oh my god.
So
I want to hear you do like a review on it.
I need to do, it's so bad. It was fucking terrible, but
I love bad reviews of movies. It makes me just like,
I live for them.
yeah.
They're so good. All right, we got to wrap the podcast up here. We're a little over the time limit, but this was so much fun.
I've
I
had
didn't
so
want to
much
stop
fun.
it.
Me
I want to give you a
either.
second. Plug all your social media, your podcast, anything like that. The floor is yours.
Wow. Okay, this has been so fun. I love
Yes,
this.
I had a great time.
Oh, okay. So, Catie Housman, CatieHousman, at in front of that for everything, Instagram, whatever.
It's in the bio too if you guys are lazy.
Yeah, and I am. I'm lazy. I get it. I have a podcast, the Untitled Catie Housman Project.
Check it out.
So yeah, Brandon's gonna be on it. We're gonna continue our conversations
Hell yeah.
about being tiny. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just follow me on the gram and keep up with. Come to Cenote if you're in Austin on Saturdays. I do an open mic there. Come to the Alamo Draft House every other Monday. For
Great
comedy.
venue. Great venue.
And that's it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Guys, please make sure you go follow her. Go show her support if you're in Austin. Check out her shows. They're great shows. She runs a great mic, great shows. Great person. So I'm happy to have you on. Happy to help you promote your stuff and all that.
Thank you.
Guys, for me, if you're listening to this, if you're a California listener, please come out June 3rd. Come out July 3rd to the Shop Comedy Show in Brea, California. It'll be great. $15, open bar, all you can drink. Gonna be a good time. We'll have wine, beer, and seltzers. Great comics. We got a comic from Austin, a comic from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. We got a comic from San Diego, and then we got an OC comic. So we got people from all fucking over. It's going to be a great show. Come get fucked up. You got the next day off. It's 4th of July. You ain't got shit to do. So come on out. Enjoy the show. And guys, this is your first time listening or your 117th time. I appreciate you. And most importantly, thank you for letting us be your last resort. See ya.
This has been a Your Last Resort production.